Hi everyone, welcome to the third episode of our podcast. Today we are joined by Prateeksha, who is a senior consultant at uhomes.com, and she specializes at the UK market, especially Birmingham. So, Prateeksha, you can start by telling us about your role and your experience helping students find accommodation at uhomes.com.
I'm Prateeksha. I'm a senior consultant at uhomes.com, and my role uh, typically revolves around helping students navigate UK housing market. And I've been in the industry for over 2 years now, and I've helped hundreds of students find accommodation, specifically student accommodation in UK and mostly in Birmingham.
Okay, and what makes Birmingham City such a popular choice for international students, you would say?
Birmingham is actually the second most sought after city to study in the UK because for three main reasons. One is because universities. Birmingham has two major universities. One is University of Birmingham and Birmingham City University, which is very popular. It's popular among students, and it's one of the most top universities in the UK as well. And second thing is affordability, and that too without compromising quality. Birmingham compared to London is 30 to 40 times cheaper. 30 to 40% cheaper than London. You are saving on half. Like in London, your rent would be somewhere around 300 to 400 pounds per week. In Birmingham, you'll have your rent somewhere around 150 to 160 pounds per week. So you're saving a lot there on rent. And third, it's a very vibrant city. There are a lot of students. There are 5 to 6 universities, so there are a lot of students coming in. There is a very good nightlife over there. So students generally, seek to go there. And it's also 1.5 hours from London.
Oh,
So
that's great.
yeah.
So, how early do you think international students should start, for looking at accommodation in Birmingham? Because, of course, there's the September intake, and students do usually start by June, July, but many times students have booked last minute as well in this market. So, what do you recommend? Like, how early should they book?
So when it comes to student accommodation, booking student accommodation, timing is everything, right? If you're looking for a September intake, you need to book by March at least. That's when you will have the properties at the best prices, the best deals closest to the university. If you're going for a January intake, then start in September and October. Start looking for your accommodation then. Um, by the time students actually wait for their CAS, visa, all of that, and that's where they lose out on options. We do have last minute options, but then your choices are narrower. It'll be away from the university. You'll have to settle for something much more expensive as well. So 3 to 4 months, 4 to 6 months in advance is what I.
That's better also because it gives a peace of mind to students once they've booked an accommodation beforehand.
Exactly. So once you're done with your accommodation, you've saved a lot of money and you're avoiding so much stress as well.
Yeah, that's true. And what's the average cost of these student accommodations? And how does it vary by area or property type? Like there are these two universities in Birmingham, and they are the most popular ones where students go. So does it like vary if students book near University of Birmingham, or does it like is it more expensive to book with Birmingham City University?
Luckily for Birmingham, the properties, the PBSAs in the city center are far cheaper than the ones that are in the outskirts. So in the city center, you should expect somewhere around 150 to 160, starting from 150 to 160. When it comes to PBSA, your bills are included, amenities are included. So 150 per week would include everything. And that would again depend on what room type you're going for. So if you're going for an ensuite, then it would be starting at 150, and the ranges, until luxury studios which go to 300 pound per week. So this is what it's in the city center. If you're looking near the University of Birmingham, now because there are lesser properties near the university, the costs will be much higher.
Okay. So like high by what figuratively can you say?
Near the university, near University of Birmingham, you should expect 250 to
Okay.
300.
Okay. So you would recommend booking near the city center?
Yeah, if it is international student looking for masters, then I always recommend city center because your job opportunities are better. Traveling every day from University of Birmingham would be an extra cost for the student.
That's true. And coming back to booking through uhomes, how easy it is to book through uhomes compared to like other platforms for students? So in uhomes we have each like there is a consultant assigned for each student, Yeah.
which help you navigate through the options and help you shortlist your options as well. What so Something about U homes that stands out is that they have verified properties. We have a team in London going and visiting these properties, taking live videos of them, and they are uploaded on our website as well. So these are like real time videos that give a student an idea of how the property is and how the rooms look. So that is something that no other agency has done until now. And like I said, all verified um, properties on our site, so there are no scams,
Yeah.
no random listings.
And it's very safe also that way. There's no.
Yes, exactly, for international students. And we make sure that every student has a contract, a confirmation in place. And also, we're not just until the student has paid the deposit. So we support them end to end. So that even after they have moved in, if they are facing any issues, they do come back to us, with them.
And what would you say are some common mistakes that students have done while booking accommodation in your experience?
So the major mistakes would be one, booking too late.
Yeah.
Worst is booking on arrival, because some cities, they hardly have any options. In Birmingham, what happens is the same rooms that they had looked at, 3 months prior, they have gotten much more expensive. So that is one mistake that they do make. Second is not going through their leaves or contracts, not reading them clearly. So these two are the major ones. Um, some students, they have come back to me saying that they booked a private accommodation where they did not get a contract, no leaves, all of that as well. So again, um, if another landlord has given a bargain price, they just run to them without any checking verification, all of that.
So then those landlords must just be asking for cash up front, right? There is no
Yeah,
payment.
deposit payments are done, and then once the student has gone to the UK, there's nothing else.
So then,
Another common mistake that students do make is choosing a property based on a price alone. Like, if they find something, let's say for £100, but it is far away from the university, they're going to spend that amount on travel, and so much time is also wasted. They are students, they have to study, do part-time jobs. So this is another major mistake that they make. They're just looking at the price and booking. They're not looking at how the room is, how far it is from the university, whether it's isolated or not.
And I think one more mistake is that I think that's what they do with other, not through U homes, but through other services. They don't do a viewing, because if you do a viewing, you wouldn't fall into traps like being scammed when you reach the accommodation.
It's not even about viewing. It's like property. It's not verified.
Yeah.
There is no pictures, no videos of the property.
So it's always good to at least verify or have a viewing. I mean, uhomes does verify properties, but for the peace of mind of students, they should at least do a viewing once.
At least do a viewing or go through a trusted platform.
That's good. And are there any red flags students should watch out, like we just said, when selecting a place?
Well, if the price is too good to be true, okay. If you're going to Birmingham, research about Birmingham, research how much rent it actually costs in Birmingham, and then look for rooms accordingly, because there are a lot of platforms which show housing at very bargain rates, but then students don't realize they might have hidden charges or they might be scams as well. Um, Second thing is if the landlord is refusing to give you a contract or asking you to pay upfront without giving you a contract, that is a major red flag because every housing needs to give you a contract. So they need to be three things in the contract. One is rent payment, your deposit protection scheme, which is according to the UK law, it is mandatory. And third is whatever rules are there for repairs, cares, and all of that. So these three things that they should have on the contract. Another red flag would be if they have seen a property, I would say go Google that property. See if there are any reviews. If there are no reviews, it's a major red flag. And if there are bad reviews, always check whether they have been, responded to or not.
And also if they're nearby metro station or bus stations, like if there's nothing and it's just in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly, exactly. With PBSA, you will always
Yeah.
have a bus station in your next step.
And can you share in your personal experience a story of like how you helped a student book from start to end and her journey with it or his journey with booking through you with you?
So I have, because I do majorly Birmingham itself, I have booked a lot of students through uhomes. And I've had cases where, students are so happy with the rooms and they get 4 more students along with them to look for Birmingham. So I don't have like a specific story, but most of my students, come back with a group, come back to rebook as well.
Yeah,
It's
for the
free
second year.
for the second year.
That's great. And anything else you would like to add? Anything you would want to tell the viewers before booking, what they should do or why they should book with you homes just before we end this podcast episode?
If you're going to Birmingham, I would always say research. Do your research. Google how much rent. It's how much rent actually costs in Birmingham. And if you're an international student, don't go for private options in the first year. It's very risky. Always go for student accommodations. You might feel like it is higher than the rest of the private accommodation, but these are fully furnished, bills included options, and you won't have to worry about anything once you're moved in. That's
And any other city apart from Birmingham where students can move in like terms of like you said affordability?
Yeah, Coventry is another thing. Coventry is a bit further away, I would say, from London, but Coventry is much cheaper than Birmingham. But Manchester is a little lesser than London. London is the most expensive city.
Yeah.
Then you have Manchester, and Liverpool is also there near Manchester.
And also Sheffield and any other city you would recommend? Bristol?
Bristol is expensive again. So Sheffield, Coventry, Liverpool, these are more economical cities. They have really good universities.
Okay. And yeah, I think that's everything you should know, especially before the September intake. So you should really book your accommodation on time, especially if you're going into the UK, I would say. Thank you so much, Prateeksha, for talking to us in this episode. And if you really enjoyed watching this, you can watch some of our previous episodes as well and like and subscribe to the channel and keep watching the space for more. Thank you.